I heard him say it loud enough for his friends to laugh, quiet enough to think it wouldn't reach me. "She's mine at the office." The room buzzed with champagne laughter, the clink of glasses, the hum of a company gala in full swing. My wife smiled across the room, oblivious, trapped in polite conversation with clients. And he, her so-called work husband, leaned against the bar, boasting to his colleagues like a teenager claiming territory. I didn't flinch. I just nodded once, slow, as if agreeing to something private. His friends smirked, mistaking my silence for weakness. He had no idea that I already knew. We'd been married 10 years. She was my anchor, my confidant, the one I built my world around. I still remember her laughter echoing in our first apartment, nights of cheap wine and whispered dreams. She used to look at me like I was everything. But people change when ambition whispers in their ear. The late nights at the office, the urgent deadlines, the texts she guarded a little too closely. I wanted to believe her. God knows I tried. Until one night, her phone lit up on the counter while she showered. His name. A message, "Don't forget our little secret. Can't wait for tomorrow." The ground didn't shake. No dramatic thunder. Just silence. Cold, cutting silence inside me. That's when I shifted from husband to strategist. From heartbroken to hunter. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Emotion is messy. Evidence is clean. So I collected emails, text logs, expense reports. I hired a discreet investigator, worth every dollar. Photos of them at hotels. His hand on the small of her back at work functions. Her eyes soft the way they used to be when she looked at me. Betrayal has a taste, bitter, metallic. I let it sit on my tongue until it hardened into resolve. He thought he was clever, bragging in whispers, hiding behind office walls. What he didn't know was that his boss, the CEO, was under investigation for financial misconduct. And the keynote speaker tonight? A state senator, here to talk about corporate responsibility. A perfect storm. So I moved pieces quietly. I made sure certain documents reached the right people. I leaked expense reports linking him and her to misused company funds, those little business trips billed as corporate retreats. I arranged for the senator's aide to hear a story or two before tonight's gala. By the time the champagne was poured, the fuse was already burning. When I saw him later, he wasn't laughing. He'd spotted me in the corner, speaking in low tones with the keynote speaker, my hand resting casually on the man's shoulder, a smile that didn't quite reach my eyes. That's when he went pale. I watched his throat tighten as he whispered to his boss, "We have a problem." The boss frowned, confused. "What do you mean?" "Perfect. Let the panic spread." The speeches began. Lights dimmed. The room hushed. The senator took the stage, polished and commanding. He spoke of integrity, accountability, the decay that begins when men think rules don't apply to them. Every word felt like a blade pressed against my betrayers. My wife shifted uncomfortably at our table, eyes darting between me and him. She knew something was coming. She just didn't know how far I'd gone. Then the senator paused, cleared his throat, and thanked a concerned individual for bringing matters to his attention. Documents had been reviewed. Investigations were underway. Names would not yet be mentioned, but the company would face scrutiny. The boss stiffened. The work husband's hands twitched nervously on the table. My wife's face drained of color. I didn't clap. I just sipped my drink. The fallout was immediate. The whispers, the sudden calls, the frantic texts flying under the table. His friends avoided eye contact now, as if they'd never heard his little boast. Within the week, he was placed on leave. His promising career collapsed under the weight of scandal. My wife was called in for questioning about her role in the expense reports. Her reputation, once spotless, now permanently stained. And me? I was calm, unshaken. I had already filed for divorce, armed with enough evidence to secure custody and assets. She didn't even try to fight. She knew the game was lost before it began. The last time we spoke, she asked me why. Why not just leave quietly? Why destroy everything? I looked at her. Really looked. The woman I once loved, reduced to excuses and shame. And I said, because you didn't just betray me. You underestimated me. Now I sit here alone, but not broken. The house is quiet, peaceful in a way it hasn't been in years. No secrets humming behind closed doors. No lies waiting in the dark. He thought she was his at the office. She thought I'd never find out. They both thought I'd stay silent. They were wrong. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet nod across a crowded room, a whisper to the right ear, a single move that makes the whole board collapse. And in that silence, in their ruin, I found my closure.